Hey everybody, and welcome to the week 6 newborn vlog. Taylor is 6 weeks old. Wow! So we actually got to weigh him at this breast pump store, which we'll talk about later. And they had a scale that you kind of weigh your baby before and after you feed him. And he weighs a little over 10 pounds now.
Can you believe it?
I would have never guessed 10 pounds if we were guessing his weight. I thought he was maybe 9 max, but it was like 10.1 pounds. So he'll have a doctor's appointment, not next week, but the week after, and so we'll see then. That was with all his clothes on and stuff, so he might be a little under that.
Yeah. But pretty much right at 10.
Right at 10. So he's still in newborn clothes. They fit fine still. He's still in #1 diapers. That seems to be working good. He can wear 0 to 3 months, just depends. Sizes kind of vary, but some are bigger than others, but he still seems to wear them pretty good. All right, now the last week we meant to show off some baby buys, and we completely forgot. So we're going to do it this week. Hopefully you can see Taylor here.
Okay, so Mike's brother and his wife Kirby gave Mike's mom a gift to give to us. So we got this cute little fox. Super cute.
Fox stuffed animal.
Yeah.
Let's show it to him. Hey, Mr. Taylor. How are you doing? My name's Foxy McFoxter. Foxy McFoxter.
Okay, and then next we got the 12th man Seahawks little jersey. Super cute. So this is kind of big, but that will be good for later on this fall or winter.
What size is it?
0 to 3 months. So I definitely don't think it'd fit most newborns. So. And then we got this cute flannel shirt with matching black pants. And the pants are corduroy.
3 months it looks like.
Yeah, 3 months. The next one is a dinosaur hoodie. Super cute. And it has matching camo pants. And I think they're both the 3 month size too. Okay, last but not least, we got Batman.
Batman onesie.
So this one has the little hat that has the little ears. I think it's super cute.
You're modeling it.
You know.
Pretend Hilda's a baby. Yeah, this is what it'll look like.
And then we got this cute one, and it comes with the super cute cape. So.
Born to be Batman.
Yeah, Born to be Batman. It's funny because it's from Uncle Derek, and his uncle bred this all about Batman.
Derek and Kirby have 2 sons, so 2 cousins for all our kids, and they are Kellen and Sawyer. And Emily and Zoe had a sleepover at my mom's house with Kellen last week, and Sawyer's 4 months, maybe 5 months now old.
Yeah.
So he's pretty close to Taylor's age. He was born a little bit earlier. So thank you for all those awesome gifts.
That was super cool, super exciting. And then we got a package from California. So it's my grandma's sister's daughter. So I call her my Aunt Jan. So she sent us a set of Carter's onesies. This one's super cute. And then there's a little bear with stripes. And then she probably bought it because this one has foxes all over it. Super, super cute. And then she got 2 pairs of matching pants. So we will be set. Cute little brown ones. And then she bought us the swaddle blankets. They're the Aiden and Anise brand, if I'm saying that correctly. One is the pretty blue. And then we have the fox theme. And then we have stripes. And then blue and gray trees. So all really cute. I'm super thankful. These are like the best swaddle blankets you can buy. They are very high quality. And they're perfect because there's so many different uses. You can use them to wrap your baby, swaddle them. Or you can use them as a blankie, especially in the car seat. Or you can just drape the whole thing over the car seat as a cover. Or you can use it for nursing. I like to kind of drape it over my shoulder to kind of disguise that I'm nursing. These are all super useful for so many uses. Some people use them for diaper changes too. I try not to because I hate the thought of dirtying up these pretty blankets, so I would probably discourage that use unless I was really desperate.
Thank you, Jen.
Yeah, thank you.
I guess it should be said with these swaddle blankets that Taylor doesn't really like to be swaddled anymore, and that's probably our fault for not keeping it up. Famously, Emily loved to be swaddled for like months after she was born. Like the easiest way to calm her down was to get her in the tightest double swaddle you could, and she would just be perfectly content, stop crying. Zoe, we kind of fell out of that. She didn't like swaddles as much. She was better about getting out of them too. And then Taylor, pretty much when we got home, we swaddled him for a couple days, and then we stopped. And so now when you swaddle him, he doesn't exactly like it. But those blankets are, like Hilda said, you can use them for all of those things. So we use them all the time. We got a bunch of different ones. All right, Taylor's in a good mood, so we're going to do our baby shot right now. Got the little fox stuffed animal next to him.
Uh-huh.
You say hi, Taylor? Say hi. That's something we didn't talk about, was he waved for the first time on Wednesday. So we were working outside, and I said hi and waved him while he was in his little rock star baby stroller, and he stuck his hand out and did like the perfect wave.
Okay.
Say hi.
I have a picture of it to prove it.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Get a picture of it? Yeah, you're kind of trying. Yeah, there you go.
Say Zoe.
Is your sister all wet?
Yeah, give you wet kisses.
Wet kisses. Ooh. No kisses from the sick girl. Alright, so what's been going on?
On Monday,
we went to Hilda's doctor's appointment, and we found out that we had to schedule a procedure for Friday. We wanted to do it while I was still off work. We didn't think it would be so soon, though. So we might make a more in-depth video later in the future, but for now, just know that it was kind of it's not a major procedure, but she did have to be sedated and drugged up for a few hours, and that was going to make it so that she couldn't feed Taylor. They said normally for babies 4 hours after the procedure, and since Taylor was so small, 6 hours after the procedure. And the procedure was around noonish. So we kind of started freaking out because we didn't have a way to store her breast milk up. That past Friday, she did call the insurance, kind of thinking about this ahead of time. And the insurance would cover a breast pump. She just had to...
for free.
Yeah, for free. She just had to pick it out, and they were suggesting calling the actual manufacturing company and getting it sent over, which would take a couple weeks. And kind of luckily, she didn't order one that Friday. She wanted to go do some research.
Yeah, I went on Amazon and started typing in breast pumps, and I was reading all the comments to try to get an idea of what people had to say about what pumps.
But if the procedure was Friday and it was Monday, we really needed to figure it out pronto. So Tuesday, Hilda got on the phone and figured out where we were going to get this breast pump from. There was a place in West Seattle that actually the insurance would cover from there. And they didn't have the one my brother's wife has that she really likes.
Spectra.
Yeah. But they did have the one that we had used with Emily, which was the Medela
Pump and Style.
We reserved that one, and it was the last one left.
Yeah, the very last one.
And it just happened to work out. We were like, oh, West Seattle, so far away. But we had planned to go to my work for a party for my employees on Wednesday already. So we weren't too far out from there. So that was the plan, was to go on Wednesday before the party at my work and pick this up, and that's exactly what we did. So the place was called Nurturing Expressions, and it was really cool. This is the pump we ended up getting, the Pump and Style Advanced with the Metro bag. So it's got a bag to carry all of these things. It's nice because it's got the 2 pumps, so you can do both at the same time.
And the bag's really nice.
The bag's really nice. It's even got a battery pack that you just put AA batteries into, and you can use it on the go. It's got a bag to hold the bottles afterwards. I mean, we'll mostly be using it at home, but since we were familiar with this one from the last time, we really wanted to get the same one. So they didn't just have pumps, they had a bunch of clothes and things like that, and so Hilda could not resist this koala bear shirt, 0 to 3 months. If you watched any of our videos, you know koala bears are my favorite animal. I had a stuffed koala for all my life that I just loved. And matching white pants. Was not cheap, but it was nice.
It's all like hand sewn.
Yeah. We did get a discount for buying the pump that day, so that made it a little better. They also had these bento boxes that we got for our girls. This one's an owl, this one's a fox, and underneath it's 3 compartments. So we thought those would be good for lunch. Zoe especially likes to have these types of things when she makes her lunch for school. But the place overall was cool. It had a whole feeding room. It looked like they do classes and things like that, and they got all these pillows.
Groups, support groups where you can breastfeed with other moms,
and you can try out pumps. There was a mom in there trying out a pump that she was thinking about getting. So yeah, it was just really cool. That's where they had the scale where we weighed Taylor. Found out he was 10 pounds. He's also getting some rolls on his arms.
Yep. He's got 2 little rolls.
So we managed to do that on Wednesday, and then we went to the baby shower at my work and / wedding shower. That was also, we got to show Taylor off to all my coworkers who they've seen Emily born and Zoe born. Some of them, if they've been there that long. So that was cool, and we got pictures of Taylor's first day at work with Daddy, so he wasn't too happy in one of the pictures.
Yeah, one picture he's screaming and one picture he's sleepy.
The other thing about Wednesday was girls had their school pictures, so that made the morning kind of hectic, but it all worked out. And if you've watched our last couple of videos about our sleep routine, normally we get the girls on the bus and then we go back to bed. So that's what we were most worried about, is we just jumped in the car and headed out. And luckily Taylor got asleep, so for him it was pretty much like normal. But we were much more tired, that's for sure.
Gotta burp the baby.
Oh. So, we got our breast pump. We got it back home. We pulled out all our old bottles from Emily, which were in the garage. Unfortunately, they were in a box that didn't have a lid, so they were all dirty. So we had to wash and sanitize everything we could. We found our old breast pump, which was the same thing. So we probably could have just used that had we thought about it, but I didn't even know if we still had it, but it was in that box. So the reason we were under time pressure was Thursday, Hilda was going to have to be on a clear liquid diet all day long, and we knew her milk wasn't going to be good and wasn't going to really satisfy baby. So we really wanted to pump as much as we could Wednesday while Hilda was still eating lots of good food, lots of meat, everything like that, but it wasn't until probably 9 o'clock at night when we finally had everything clean, everything done, and ready to pump. And so I think we pumped around then. I fed her like one big last meal around 11 or 12 midnight. And then we pumped after that too. So we got about a total of 5 ounces that day. And really, we should have been pumping that whole day. Specifically while we were out and about, and he slept for like 4 hours. So we got 5 ounces on Wednesday, and then Thursday she was on clear liquid diet, and you could tell that Taylor could tell. He was just not satisfied with the milk. He just kept wanting to feed. He was screaming at Hilda, at the boob basically, because it wasn't giving him what he wanted, and he would feed and go to sleep, but he'd wake up like in an hour. Or normally he'll sleep for at least a couple hours. And Thursday my mom came over, helped us clean our house. She had the day off, so.
And that was the other thing about Wednesday and Thursday, was we didn't get to sleep in.
It was just a rough day. I mean, he probably slept best that morning, because while my mom was here cleaning, he slept like 3 hours, I think.
Yeah.
And then woke up right before we had to pick up the girls from school. So that was his best sleep, and that's when Hilda's milk still had stuff from the day before in it. And then after that, when she was only eating chicken broth and drinking Gatorades and stuff, it just...
Pussy.
It wasn't doing it for him, and she wasn't really producing the milk, let alone I don't think the milk was very good quality. So that's just something to know. The doctors didn't tell us anything about that, although we kind of knew that was going to happen. The doctors were more concerned Friday after the procedure. Okay, so Thursday we ended up pumping about 3 more ounces, or 2.5. I basically made her, when Taylor was sleeping, pump a little bit more. I don't think that was very good quality milk, but at least we got a little bit more. So I had about 7.5 ounces going into Friday. And then Thursday night, Friday morning. So that night was kind of tough. At around 2:30, he just kept wanting milk, but then not being happy with it when he was eating it. So I put him in his bed, the bed that we've mentioned multiple times that he loves, and just told him, you know, we got no more milk for you. You're going to have to wait a few hours and maybe she'll have something. And just said he was going to have to cry. And he cried. We haven't generally done the crying to sleep thing, but he cried for about 7 minutes. It was pretty sad. Yeah. But then he went to sleep. So, and he actually slept till right before we had to get up for the girls, so about 4 hours. So that was good, and it ended up being a good thing. Friday morning, we had to get up, get the girls off to school, and then have Hilda get ready to go to her appointment, which she had to be there at 12:45.
All week, Michael had been getting the girls off, and that morning, Michael was kind of dead to the world.
I was dead to the world. Too many days. 2 days in a row of not going back to sleep, and then, I don't even remember them really trying
I tried to wake Michael up, and he just was not responding, and I thought, well, I'll just let him sleep, and baby was sleeping, so I got the girls off to school.
By the time Hilda had to go, he was sleeping, and we kind of decided that night before, the plan was for me to go with her, be the driver, do the bottle in the waiting room, but you're not supposed to leave the waiting room while the procedure's going on, and there's lots of people in that waiting room. I just started to realize that it was not going to be really doable to do both. And
we didn't think he could, warm up the bottle.
And we didn't know if Taylor was going to take a bottle. If it was anything like Emily, it was going to be kind of a battle. Yeah. I didn't want to do that in front of 30 other people in the waiting room.
That are probably all stressed out because their family members are having surgery too.
Yeah. So in the end, we called Hilda's mom that morning. She agreed to take Hilda, and I was going to stay home and do the bottle from home, which I thought would be a lot better and have more chance of success. So, but at this point, Taylor was pretty sad. He knew he wasn't getting the milk he needed. He also knew that, he caught on when we were pumping that, wait, there's not as much milk in here as there usually is. Plus, she wasn't producing as much milk being on that diet. So it was all kind of adding up, and he'd done that for 24 hours. He was pretty sad at that point. I felt pretty bad for him.
Yeah, when you stop eating, your body stops producing milk.
So Hilda left for the appointment at noon. Baby was sleeping. I was getting all the chores done. I woke up around 10:30, finally, live to the world again. I think he woke up around 1, maybe a little bit before. I think he was very confused because Mommy wasn't anywhere to be found. I mean, I talk a lot to Taylor. I'll just go on and on about whatever. So I was explaining to him what was going on, but, he's a baby. Who knows how much of that he actually understood about Mom's at the doctor. She's not going to be back for a little while. Yeah. And so he changed his diaper and all that, but he wasn't having it. He needed milk, so I decided I was going to do the bottle then. I mean, the problem was the procedure was going to get over around 2:30, and we were going to have to go 6 hours, so I was trying to save as much of it for those 6 hours as I could. Mom's milk didn't exactly satisfy him that morning, so I felt like he needed something. So I warmed up the 2 ounces that we had gotten on Thursday, so it was kind of the worst of the milk, It wasn't as bad as what he had that morning, Friday morning, but it was kind of like what we pumped at the start of the clear liquid diet. So to give a little context with Emily, when she was young, and Hilda went back to work. We were working opposite shifts, and there was 8 hours a day where I was taking care of baby, and Hilda would come home on her break, so twice during those 8 hours she would come home and feed Emily.
Yeah.
But then the other times I had to feed Emily. And so we did a bottle with Emily, but she really did not like bottles.
Yeah, she ate them.
Like, she would just scream at the bottle when I put it in her mouth. She would not even really try to do it. She never liked pacifiers, so that might be kind of like the same thing. Like, she thought it was a pacifier or something. We bought probably a dozen different types of bottles and nipples to try, whatever we could. Eventually, we did get her to so that she would take some, but she never liked it. She would reluctantly do it. She'd have to be like super hungry and mad, and then fine, I'll drink the bottle, that type of thing, you know. So I was expecting the worst going into Taylor, and with Zoe, I didn't even have to try because with Zoe, Hilda quit her job before she went back to work after Zoe was born. That's when we moved in with her grandparents here. And, you know, Zoe always had mom, so there was never that issue. So 9 years ago, I had some pretty bad experiences with trying to get a baby to feed off a bottle. So I tried to find the one that I thought Emily liked somewhat the best, but I knew some of those nipples were for later on. So I didn't know. I just threw a bottle together, got the milk in there, sat down with him right here and was like, all right, Taylor, milk. You know, we always sign milk when we're going to do it. I said, do you want milk? He gets worked up when you say that, and he's ready for it.
And he coughs.
And then I gave him the bottle. At first, he just held it in his mouth. The milk was kind of seeping in, and he wasn't sucking or anything. I was like, okay, here we go. This is where Emily would just like start screaming and crying. And I took it out and I put it back in his mouth, and he took a suck on it, realized there was milk, and slurped it down in like 5 minutes. So 2 ounces was gone like in no time, like the blink of an eye. And that was like a third of what I had, pretty much, or I guess a fourth maybe. So, and we didn't really know how much he drinks at a time. That was also one thing.
I know, when you breastfeed, you don't really know how much the baby's actually drinking.
Yeah, so I wish we had like more time to like pump bottles, try it with him. Oh, he drinks 2 to 3 ounces at a time. Okay, now we know. So I was hoping the 2 ounces would make him happy. He was happy. He went to sleep. I put him in his bed, and then about an hour later, he woke up and wanted more. And I was really trying to save the rest of it for after the procedure and all that. So I spent a good 20-ish minutes trying to make him happy, change his diaper, bouncing him, rocking him. But he... You know, it was so pitiful. He was just sitting there signing milk, you know.
Yeah, perfect.
And so eventually I broke down and I'm like, okay, I'll give him 2 more ounces of the good stuff. This was the stuff we pumped on Wednesday. I measured it out, heated it up. He slurped it down in the same 5 minutes. That time he had no problems. He knew what it was at that point. And I was sitting on this chair with the boppy, so it was kind of like the position.
It was kind of like a breastfeeding.
It was like trying to emulate the position he does with Hilda. And then he was happy again. That's when I got the text that she was going to leave soon to go to the restaurant. So we went to the restaurant, ate. He didn't wake up.
He slept the whole time.
He slept the whole time. Yeah. We came back. He slept the whole time. We even put the car seat right here on the couch and just let him keep sleeping, which... We used to do with Emily and Zoe quite a bit, but he has more of a tendency when he sees the front door or hears the front door opening that he wakes up. But so he ended up sleeping for 4 hours off that milk. So 4 ounces altogether within an hour
for
of
4
each
hours.
other.
Yeah.
And he slept for 4 hours. So you could tell he was happy. But that meant I only had 4 ounces left. So it was when he woke up after the 4 hours of sleep, that's when he really wants milk. And so... You know, we still had about 3 hours to go, I think. So we changed his diaper, tried to make him happy. Probably spent an hour trying not to give it to him.
I was trying to ignore him because I knew, like, if I held him, then he was just going to really want to breastfeed. So, like, Emily was doing her best to, like, kind of comfort him and hold him and rock him and every little detail to make him happy, but he was just fussing and
So eventually we gave him the last 4 ounces.
Yeah.
That was nice. It was 4 ounces at that time. I was like, all right, let's just see how much he'll actually drink in one sitting. Whether it's always 2 or does he want more than that. And he drinks about 2 ounces. Then he kind of like stops. So I take it out. He's good for, 5 minutes or so. And then he wants more. Mm-hmm. And then he drank the rest. And that was it. And we still had a good couple hours to go.
Yeah.
He didn't really want to go to sleep after that. I was really hoping he would. But then that was probably the hardest 2 hours. He was satisfied with the milk for a little bit. He kind of chilled for a little bit. But then he really wanted more. He really wanted more. And it got to the point where Emily took the bottle that had the milk and fed it, put it in his mouth, and he fell asleep just sucking on the empty bottle. Yeah. So. But all in all, I'd say the bottle feeding went awesome compared to like what it did with Emily. Like, I wish Emily took a bottle like Taylor way back 9 years ago. Yeah, my life would have been so much easier. But now we're kind of thinking this would be a good way to pump milk and have someone else be able to feed him. So, like, maybe one night we say, okay, Hilda is going to get to sleep and I'll feed him with a bottle if he wakes up. Or maybe on the weekends we can say, have a bottle ready for Emily and Zoe. And so if he wakes up, we can say, well, we want to sleep another hour or two. Can you go feed him a bottle? So,
or if we need like a couple hours in the evening to be outside.
Yeah, or go to the garden or something. So we're really trying to keep it up. At this point it's hard though because, he's so desperate for the milk. He went a whole day without really getting satisfied. He'll drink anything Mom's making, basically. So
yeah, he's drinking it all.
There hasn't been much time to pump. Ideally, it'd be in the middle of the night, but that's actually, that's the hardest because Hilda has to actually wake up and do that.
I thought last night I would wake up and do it, but I just slept the whole time.
Yeah. And when he finally got that milk from Mom with all the good food that we had right after her surgery, it was like he was passed out. He was so happy. And that ended up going that night, too. He was screaming at 2:30. I think he was just worried he wasn't going to get more milk. And we just let him cry it out. And it was like
5 minutes later, he was asleep. He was asleep for 4 hours.
And another 4 hours. So as much as we hate to hear him cry, because especially at those times, it's kind of a very pitiful, desperate cry. Yeah. And actually seems to work. So that's our experience with the pumping and bottle feeding. Oh, he grabbed his fox toy yesterday.
Yep.
So yesterday we have this fox toy in the crib that he kind of always looks at. And yesterday was the first time he grabbed it and moved it to the other side.
All of a sudden the toy was on top of him and I was just amazed.
Yeah.
He was holding the fox.
When it happened with me, I actually didn't even see it. It was over here, and then I was changing his diaper, and I look up, and he has it like right by his head. So obviously he had moved it, but I wish I would have seen it.
But I've noticed more and more he's been grabbing like the blankie.
Yeah.
Well, I'm putting it in his hand right now, but he can actually grab pretty good now.
Alright, so that's it for this newborn vlog. If you want to check out any of our old ones, click above Hilda's head. We'll put a link to the playlist. Also, since the girls started school, I recently put out their
back to school.
Yeah, their back to school clothes video, which they were pretty excited about and pretty much made on their own. So if you want to check out those videos, there's a playlist for that one too. And other than that, we'll see you guys next week. Alright? Say bye!
Good job, buddy!
Nice. You actually did it.